Well, I don't think that the situation has improved. We had some shipments on the break bulk vessels that happened to alleviate a little bit of the burden, but all around, exporters they complain to me. I have the booking, I have my coffee scheduled to ship, but then when we get closer to that date, then the company sometimes says, I don't have the container release for you. So they keep rolling the shipment. As I said, the exporters, they have financial commitments with banks. So it becomes a snowball. They don't get the money back, and they don't fulfill their commitments. So it's very challenging. It generates extra costs,
Yeah.
and not small costs, on top of a already challenging market. We are seeing this, that in my opinion, the logistics chaos, let's call it the chaos, it's one of the reasons of a higher inflation. That's one of the key reasons for me to see inflation as it is right now, and probably it will keep rising. I don't see that we are finished with the inflation and logistics, but we are still here. Exporters managed so far, and I think for next year, even if we don't have a solution in hands, people already learned a little bit how to play with it. This correlation between the currency and the market, and striking prices for producers on the daily basis, we barely see producers worried about real or dollars. I'll try to give you just from the last 2 years perspective. Local market has been a rock since 2 years. It all started when prices were close to 700 reais, right? That was the first psychological level producers had in mind. But then 700 became 1,000, 1,000 became 1,200, and now 1,500 is being discarded. People, they don't want to see, they don't want to sell at these levels. You call it because of the frost, because of the perspectives for next years. But it's really tough to find bargains. Okay, this is a sale ticket. Producers, they think that they need to adjust their stocks left to balance out what they will lose, or what they lost already. But it's a little bit difficult to judge what's going to happen on the domestic market, because we have some other forces. New York goes up, and sometimes the prices in Brazil, they don't follow the same proportion because of cash flow, or because of not of a lot of interest. For the exporters, they find it very hard to sell additional coffee overseas at current differentials. So New York can go to, I don't know, it can go higher, but that doesn't mean that Brazil prices, domestic prices will follow the same speed or the same proportion. So hoping or wanting higher prices isn't that simple for producers. Of course, they will always want the highest price, but it's tricky.
Yeah.
Exporters are facing these double prices. Their credit lines shrink because the banks, they don't say, okay, price is double, I'll give you double the credit lines that for you to keep up with the market.
Right.
So that's also doesn't happen. So I don't know. There's inflations, a lot of things that will go against producers as well. But they have been getting it right. We have to admit that they are holding on their stocks, or being very strong when asking prices. They have been the right ones. It's totally in their hands at the moment. It makes sense. I just say this can last much longer, but they will always they need to think about the future. When prices invert, and we enter a bear market, because that will happen for coffee. It's a commodity. It's naive to think that prices will remain like this forever. It can last long, but not forever.